Well, good evening, everyone. Obviously, I've had to wait for a few seconds because I was expecting the music to play. But once again, we are live with coverage of the World Cup on Coach's Corner, and you are in the company of myself, Manny Thangadurai. And today has pretty much been a day of shocks, really. I'm not too sure if they would say that the third day of the World Cup is the day when shocks occur, but perhaps the most seismic shock of the tournament so far, one for which I was supposed to join you for commentary, but sadly I couldn't, was Argentina of Lionel Messi, Angel Di Maria and company, losing 2-1 to the minnows from Saudi Arabia. I mean, I shouldn't call Saudi Arabia minnows because they've qualified for more than a few World Cups, but they've pretty much been, you know, tigers in qualifying, but lambs to the slaughter in the main tournament. But today, of course, Argentina had more than a few goals disallowed for offside, falling victim to the Saudis' high line. And in the second half, for some reason, they just capitulated. And just to prove that the shocks have not been, fluky, Denmark, who were expected to beat Tunisia quite comfortably today, were held to a goalless draw. The first draw of the tournament, although one of their players did, in fact, hit the post earlier on in that match. So clearly, some big teams stumbling a little bit, stumbling a lot, you would say, in Argentina's case. But of course, there is a precedent in that in 2010, Spain also lost their first match of the tournament, but they went on to become world champions. So anyone who thinks that Argentina's campaign might be done and dusted, remember, the tournament has only just started. Today, of course, it's a different story. We are bringing you coverage of Mexico versus Poland, El Tri versus the Bialo-Czerwoni, CONCACAF versus UEFA. And we see the teams already lining up. Guillermo Ochoa, the unmistakable captain of Mexico, who's playing in his fifth World Cup, and Robert Lewandowski leading his Polish side out. So this is going to be a really interesting match, and I will share the lineups with you right now. Obviously, Lewandowski will be key for Poland, but I'm going to give you the formations right now for Mexico. So as you can see, they're playing a 4-3-3 today with Ochoa obviously in goal. And Jorge Sanchez and Jesus Gallardo will be the fullbacks for today, with Cesar Montes and Hector Moreno playing in the center of defense. And obviously, there's quite a lot of experience in this Mexican lineup. And that doesn't even take into consideration the captain, Andres Guardado, who is in fact on the bench, the number 18 for Mexico. Yep. But of course, given that he hasn't been named in the starting lineup, it's Guillermo Ochoa who is captaining the team today. And Hector Herrera, Edson Alvarez, and Luis Chavez will be operating a three-man midfield, with Alvarez very much in the center, playing the same role that Tyler Adams played for the USA against Wales yesterday. So this three-man midfield will be key. Irving Lozano, Henry Martin, and Alexis Vega, of course, will be the three strikers. And there's not a shortage of talent on the bench. In fact, another fact here is that the goalkeepers have a combined age of 112, with Talavera, wearing the number 1 jersey, being 40 years old. So you can imagine there's a lot of experience in this Mexican squad, more than enough in the lineup, and plenty on the bench in the form of Guardado and company. And other notable names include Rogelio Funes Mori and Raul Jimenez from Wolverhampton Wanderers. So plenty of options on the bench for the manager to choose from. Now we go to Poland, who are playing with a 3-5-2. And this was an almost similar formation that Wales ended up employing, although they started off with a 3-4-3, but ended up sort of transitioning into a 3-5-2, and still weren't quite able to release Neco Williams and Connor Roberts down the wing, which sort of strained the midfield. But this is how they will be lining up. That is, of course, former Arsenal goalkeeper Wojciech Szczesny in goal, now, of course, playing for Juventus. Bartosz Berzinski, Kamil Glik, and Jakub Kiwior are in the three-man defense. three centre backs. Matty Cash from Aston Villa, obviously English born and raised, but eligible for Poland through his mother, I believe. And Jakub Kaminski, Grzegorz Krychowiak, Sebastian Szymanski, and Nikola Zalewski. They will obviously form the five-man midfield over here, supporting Piotr Zielinski and, of course, the legend, the captain, the leader, Robert Lewandowski up front. And there is plenty of options on the bench. Of course, names including Jan Bednarek from Aston Villa, formerly of Southampton, of course, who joined Aston Villa in the September transfer window. And Kamil Grabara, also a name familiar to quite a few Premiership football fans. So definitely some options to come off the bench. And the referee is Chris Beath, who I believe hails from Australia. We will find out soon enough once we get back to coverage of the tournament. And in fact, we should be heading over to the stadium right now because the match will be starting. So this is going to be quite key because Mexico and Poland are both in Argentina's group, and both teams will now feel as though a win today will certainly put them in pole position to qualify. Of course, Argentina will have their work cut out, but this group could very well end up being quite tight. So you do not want to miss any action from this group, and I am here to bring it to you today. Once again, we have the one of the things I absolutely despise about watching from my channel right now, and I'm going to call them out. It's Sports 18 on the Geo network over here in India. We haven't seen any coverage of the national anthems in all of these matches, and that is sickening. It's got to be about the advertisements. I am sick of it. Disrespectful in every way, but what can you do? Confirmation of the Mexican lineup, the 4-3-3 with Ochoa manning the goal. Guardado on the bench, who should come on later for yet another cap. He could take his tally to above 180 if Mexico go far in this tournament. Ochoa himself has about 132 caps. And Robert Lewandowski, who has a similar number of caps himself, exchanging pennants with him. And I was right. Chris Beath is, in fact, an Aussie with two linesmen and a reserve, the third official to follow. Let's suit. And Sean Evans is the main person in charge of VAR. And he is assisted by a few South Americans. So obviously everything's going a little bit too quickly. Can't read all of the names. So I will send everyone checking the post again. And of course, confirmation of the Polish lineup, which actually might be more of a 5-3-2 with Matty Cash and Nikola Zalewski, the wingbacks. So it'll be a three-man midfield of Szymanski, Krychowiak, and Kaminski. So Zalewski and Cash are going to be expected to bomb up front and try and support the midfield as much as possible. And then, of course, Szczesny in goal, Lewandowski and Zielinski up front. And this should be quite an interesting game indeed. Both teams obviously having some rather long and storied World Cup histories. Poland, of course, twice semi-finalists in 1974 in West Germany and 1982 in Italy. As for Mexico, they've never reached the semi-final stage, but they have been quarter-finalists on a few occasions. And of course, Tata Martino, the Mexican coach, has in fact been criticized for not bringing in too many young players and the squad being far too old. But, this will be an opportunity for the experienced players to show how good they are. And Mexico just kicked off in their green shirts and white shorts, and they are attacking from left to right. And obviously, they're sort of another cagey sort of opening, but Poland have the ball. And they're going to try and look to cause some problems, but it is, in fact, the number 13, Kaminski, who fouls the number 15, Hector Moreno. And Mexico win a free kick to be taken by Moreno himself. Actually, he's left it to his goalkeeper, Guillermo Ochoa. And another player to watch, of course, is Hirving Lozano. Rio Ferdinand has just waxed lyrical of him. A player you certainly don't want to play against, capable of running off the ball. Jinky, when he gets to the dangerous areas, asks questions of his opponents, can go off either side, happy to come off the left or the right-hand side, equally as comfortable, and he poses a threat. And obviously, he's been doing quite well in the Champions League this season, so he is another player who is expected to do well this tournament, one of those youngsters. And certainly with a lot of experience on his side in the form of his more venerated teammates, he will have some support. And there's an injury to a Mexican player who's down, probably got caught there. Yeah, it's number 24, Chavez, who was caught by Piotr Zielinski, conceding that free kick. And Mexico can breathe again. Edson Alvarez, who was down. And Alvarez is back in the action, sort of passing it forward to Moreno, who can try and launch a counter-attack. Once again, more backwards passing. It is with Alvarez to Cesar Montes, who tries to pass it forward. He finds the Mexican player over there, and they can certainly try and attack here. Pass through to Hector Herrera. Sanchez. Herrera, back to him. Crossfield pass all the way to Montes, who decides to go to the right. Hoping to find Lozano, but doesn't quite succeed. And Poland win a throw-in. Gerardo Martino is his real name. And actually, that might have been a Mexican throw because Mexico got it back. It is, in fact, Alvarez now. Back with Alvarez, of course. Passing, hoping to find Lozano, but not really succeeding. But not the best of clearances, and might put Poland in a bit of trouble there. But the linesman says, "No, this foul play. Back you go." And it is Zalewski who's down. Yeah, a little bit of a hand in the face there from the young Lozano. You can't do that, son. You can't do that. And the coach for Poland is Czesław Michinewicz. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Any Poles who might be watching, do please forgive me. So I will, of course, hope to change the ticker. Definitely no goal so far. And the match is, of course, obviously just underway. 4 minutes have gone. Once again, this is live coverage of the 2002 FIFA World Cup. Do like this video. Do subscribe to the Coach's Corner. Click the bell button for notifications of upcoming programming. And it's now back to the coverage. So it's Poland now who are trying to work the ball from their own half. But Lozano has dispossessed the man, and he can now run down the right, hoping for a cross. But obviously the person rushing in over there sort of fluffed his lines at the moment, couldn't really get to the ball. Hector Moreno can sort of try and clean that up, but good promising bit of play there, and obviously Lozano showing just why he is such a dangerous opponent. Lewandowski there trying to plead with the referee, but pretty much to no avail. And so Mexico continuing. It is Herrera who will try and ends up passing it back all the way to Montes, to Ochoa. All the way to there. Now it is back with Montes, of course. Herrera. Intercepted this time, but Herrera did win it back, but then lost it again. And Poland can now look to attack once more. And this looks promising. It's Lewandowski who's got it. It's 1-3, but Lewandowski's quick. And Mexico end up conceding a corner. So it's Jesus Gallardo over there who had to sort of run. And that wasn't actually Lewandowski. That was actually Kaminsky who had made that run. So some good defending there from Gallardo, but a corner has been awarded, and it will be Zielinski to take it. A right-footed away swinging corner. And you can see there that Ochoa is being surrounded by a bunch of Polish outfielders, looking to obviously try and beat him to the ball if they possibly can. Zielinski with the corner, and that actually goes off a Mexican defender's head. It is the number 19, Sanchez. Jorge Sanchez, who inadvertently heads that behind for another corner. And it's Zielinski once again. This time it will be a right-footed in-swinger. A short corner headed away, headed back out for another corner, in fact. And once again, it is Jesus Gallardo doing some good work there. Once again, a corner from the same position, right-footed in-swinger. It's taken in, but sort of headed away, and Mexico can clear that. And there's a collision over there with Montes and a Polish player on the floor. Let's find out who that player is. Looks as though it's Kamil Glik who's on the floor. No, it's not Kamil Glik. It is, it is Kamil Glik, the number 15. So, yeah, another collision of heads. Probably not too serious, but certainly something that has to be, watched, because certainly collisions have been all too common this World Cup, and quite a few people have had to be, the Iranian goalkeeper, of course, from yesterday had to be taken off due to collision. And already we've got a couple of substitutes warming up. So it's looks like Bednarek who's warming up there for Poland. Jan Bednarek, that is. But both Montes and Glik seem okay to continue. Yep, Glik is back on his feet. Took a licking, but he's still ticking. And it's a free kick to Mexico, I believe. So Ochoa has the ball. And now he has the job of passing it out. Then after a meeting with their physios, Montes and Glik are back. And Mexico can try and attack. It's number 20 who is able to release the ball. An attempted cross there from Gallardo, I think that was, but Szczesny was able to claim it. Szczesny well on his way to becoming Poland's most capped goalkeeper. In fact, he probably already is. More than 65 caps for the country. Has now played in a few major tournaments ever since breaking into the Arsenal and Polish side. But hasn't really been able to enjoy that sort of success that Lucas Fabianski had when Fabianski, of course, backstopped the team to the quarterfinals of Euro 2016, only to lose to the eventual champions Portugal. In fact, Szczesny was first choice, but ended up sustaining a dreadful injury, which ruled him out for the remainder of Poland's matches. And with Fabianski doing well, he kept his spot. Of course, now the West Ham keeper is retired, but still going strong in the Premiership. Montez now, who had that collision. And an interception there from what looks like the number 19 from Poland. Let's see who that is. Szymanski. But not very dangerous at all. And Mexico have the ball back. It is now with Herrera to Moreno. And it's passed through all the way to Chavez now, who can try and who wanted to obviously to try to outrun his opponents, but Krychowiak was equivalent to the danger. But after some good defensive work from Kaminski, Poland concede a corner. So appeal for a possible foul there, but wasn't really checked by the referee. But this is the Mexican corner. It will be taken by a short corner, which is taken by Alexis Vega, sort of back out. And now Mexico can try and cross it in, and that was met with the head of Hector Moreno, but he sort of headed over the bar, and the linesman has in fact flagged Moreno offside. Excellent whip cross in there, but Moreno just wasn't able to get the connection he wanted. And in fact, there was an offside flag raised by the linesman. So, 12 minutes gone, still no goals, and as you were. And from that resulting goal kick, Poland could try and attack, but some excellent defending there from Edson Alvarez. Concedes a throw-in, obviously trying to shut off supply to Lewandowski, and so far doing a pretty good job at it. Nice little back heel there, but couldn't find anyone. Poland still have the ball, but they've gone back into their own half, so they're going to have to try and build from the back again. And if we take a look at Argentina's next match, if it's against Mexico, then that's going to definitely be a must-win game, and I'm going to take a look at the schedule right now. Yes, Argentina, in fact, will be playing Mexico on Saturday night, the 27th of November, 5 days from now. So that will definitely be a must-win. If they fail to win that, they could end up exiting the tournament. But certainly wouldn't put it past Argentina to, do well in that match, because they, of course, had come into the tournament with an amazing unbeaten record. A bit of a surprise that it would come to an end against the unlikeliest of opponents. But that's the World Cup for you. Always been full of shocks galore, and today has been no different. Montez. Sanchez. And some good work there from Berezhinski, who is able to earn a throw-in for his side, which he takes and throws it back to his defender. And Poland are trying to build out from the back once again. Berezhinski, but intercepted again by Lozano, but this time it falls safely back in the path of the Polish defender. And Poland have another throw-in. Lothar Matthäus, World Cup royalty. World Cup winning captain in 1990 and the owner of a record 150 caps for the German national team. Poland now on the attack. And some good work down the right. Will they be able to find their man? It is, in fact, Szymanski now who had the ball. Passes it back to Krychowiak. But Mexico can intercept, and they can try and push forward. And push forward they do indeed. Some excellent work there in the midfield. Sets number 19, Sanchez, on his way, but he went a bit too far. And that has, in fact, gone out now for a Polish throw-in. Better to concede a throw-in than a goal kick if you're an attacker, perhaps. But Berezhinski now with the throw-in. The left central defender, who is now sort of transitioned into being a left back for Poland right now, with Matej Kash being the full back, right back, and Kamil Glik and Jakub Kiwior, the two central defenders. So it's a 4-2-3-1 now for Poland, and the transitioning is continuing to go on. And so far, in contrast to the USA, Mexico haven't quite been able to stop the fullbacks from rushing forward. And as I say that, Poland are rushing forward right now down the left. Not the best of passes there. And Mexico can clear that away. It is, in fact, with Edson Alvarez now to Chavez. But that's been intercepted, but at the cost of a foul, of course. And a free kick has been conceded. Cash there, remonstrating with the referee. Well, cash has cost Poland big time. Maybe they should have selected Bitcoin instead. Lozano down the right wing. Certainly a fine talent. Through pass, and it is with Sanchez now, but couldn't quite get it back in. But Herrera can sort of do something, but the referee has blown for an infringement. Did that, in fact, go out of play from Sanchez? Hard to see what it was. It might have been an offside, but as it stands, Poland have a free kick / goal kick taken by Szczesny. And it comes back to Szczesny. So, again, more of the same. Cagey beginning, neither team willing to, really commit forward. Mexico have certainly run quite well and certainly displayed a willingness to try and, draw lines in opposing territory. But Poland have also looked quite decent on the counter-attack. However, neither goalkeeper, Ochoa or Szczesny, has had to make a save. Moreno now for Mexico. Gallardo, back to Ochoa. Calming down proceedings. Who passes it now to Montes. Who passes it back to Ochoa. Sideways, backwards passing. Time to move forward, boys. Vamonos. Chavez now, who can try and run with the ball. Alvarez. Who passes it to Lozano down the right wing. Nice cross whipped in, and a sort of a hacked up clearance in the air from Kamil Glik, but Szczesny can claim that. And the reason why Szczesny was able to claim that with his hands is because that was not considered a deliberate back pass. Had it been a deliberate back pass, Szczesny would have had to kick that away. Couldn't have claimed it with his hands, otherwise he would have conceded an indirect free kick inside the penalty area. Berezhinski now. Szymanski. Yep, it is Szymanski now. All the way to Zalewski, that down the left wing. Back to Szymanski. Zalewski again. Szymanski again. Being given the runaround by Lozano, but eventually passes it back to Kiwior. Glik now. And is that with Cash? Yes. Back to Glik. Back to Kiwior. To Szymanski now, who can try and pass it forward, play it forward. And some sloppy work there from Zalewski, who loses the ball, but an eventual back pass to Ochoa, who looked a bit uncomfortable there, but was able to steady himself in the meantime. And Lozano's quick. He does like to run at defenders, but some tidy work there from the Polish defense, passing it back to Szczesny. In fact, that was Kiwior who calmed down proceedings. So once again, not much action for Lewandowski. Has been sort of starved of supply, marked out the game, but only 21 minutes have gone. Still some chance for some action. An attempted interception there by Sanchez, but to no avail, and Poland can attack down the right. Some excellent work there in the midfield. Finds Szymanski, but it's lost, and it can be reclaimed but Mexico have now given that away. And claimed for a foul there on Lewandowski just at the edge of the penalty area, but the referee's having none of it. Let's take a look at that and see. Might want to take a look at that and see if that was a foul, but I think the defender was able to get the ball and not really cause too much of a problem. Moreno now. Gallardo. Montez. Sends it up. Finds Gallardo down the left, who passes it back. It's now with Alvarez. Sanchez. Irving Lozano, who will certainly look to try and whip in another cross. Doesn't quite get a corner for Mexico, but Mexico can still attack. It is in the Polish penalty area, but there is an infringement there. A foul, in fact, on Krychowiak by the number 20, Henry Martin. It's not Martin, it's Martin. In Latin, it will be pronounced il. And just showing that a coverage of the a replay of that, it might have been more of a slip, really. Certainly no malice intended in that. But goal kick from Szczesny. Finds the player inside, but Mexico can now clear their lines. Hector Moreno now to Montez. All the way up to now it is with Alvarez now. It is in the Mexican penalty area, but that is a little bit too long there for Hector Herrera. Another goal kick. So we're past the midway point in the first half. It is Mexico 0, Poland 0. No real changes as such. Let's see if there are any comments. Right, so Football Ferreira has joined us. Vámonos, Mexico. And big up to you as well, Football Ferreira. Thanks for coming in. So hard to say who has been the best so far, but probably Mexico marginally. In fact, they've had more of the possession, but Poland have in fact been able to withstand everything quite well. Another reminder that there will be another watch-along for France against Australia. Do go and like the stream. Hopefully we'll get to see some Aussies waking up at about maybe 6 o'clock in the morning local time to catch the Socceroos, not the Socceroos, the Socceroos rather. Opening their World Cup campaign against the defending champions, who are, of course, fielding a patched-up team with so many of their star players being absent: N'Golo Kante, Paul Pogba, Presnel Kimpembe, Christopher Nkunku, and, of course, perhaps most tragically of all, Karim Benzema, who might not get to play a World Cup ever in his career, but obviously, sometimes you've got to look at the glass half full and see what a terrific career he's had for Real Madrid and say, you know what? C'est la vie, mon ami. That's life, my friend. And a dreadful foul over there, which is rightly penalized. Berezinski there sort of impeding Lozano, almost wrestling him to the ground. And through Gallardo, Mexican can try and attack. It is now back with Gallardo. Across the field, halfway to Montez, who finds Lozano, and who is able to find Hector Herrera, who is onside, and can certainly try to whip in another cross. A header coming in, and, well, Szczesny was scrambling for that, but that was always going wide. So Some more good action here from Mexico, able to do some good work down that right flank of theirs. And certainly with a better connection from Vega, that probably would have gone on target. Had Szczesny scrambling, but it was going wide. And Vega knows that he was quite close. Now Mexico still have the ball, and they win another free kick. So Poland are starting to foul quite a lot. And Krychowiak once again a guilty party. But no cards have been issued as of yet. So it'll be interesting to see if the game does tend to get a bit edgier, then we will see some cards being issued. Sanchez back to Montes. Back to Moreno. To Gallardo. Back to Moreno again. Back to Montes. Finds Lozano eventually. Some good work there. And it is now with Alvarez. And Szczesny was out of his line. Do we have a goal? No, we don't. So an excellent passage of play. Some terrific work there from Mexico once again. It was Chavez, in fact, who was able to... Chavez there with the beautiful pass. And was Gallardo offside? Remains to be seen. But Szczesny had sort of come out of his area, and Gallardo was able to go past him with the ball. But once again, some good defensive work this time from Kaminski. And that might have been flagged for an offside. But Mexico are asking questions. Can Poland find the answers? Not with sloppy passing like that, they won't. But mercifully, that goes all the way back to Szczesny, who can try and, roll it out, if you will. And it's Poland's turn now to try and make something on the counter. And Poland get a free kick. A pretty poor foul, that. And we will see the first booking of the game. Chris Beath has been controlling it quite well, but the first booking of the game goes to Jorge Sanchez from Mexico. Pulling down rather cynically the number 19, Szymanski there. Sebastian Szymanski, that is, and going straight into the book. So the first booking with, we're in the 29th minute. Will we see some goal-mouth action here? All being organized at the moment. Lewandowski, of course, waiting with expectation. And I wonder who will be standing over this free kick to take it. Not easy to see the jersey numbers on the Polish team, but with the US team, it was quite simple indeed. So that was whipped in left-footed, but all the way defended all the way out. And in fact, it was Szymanski who tried to whip that in left-footed, but that was cleared away. And Poland have a throw-in. Coming up to half an hour gone, still no goals between Mexico and Poland. It is Mati Cash who will be taking that throw-in. Taking a bit of a long time with the throw, but finally it's a short one. Cash to Zielinski to what looks like Kamil Glik, I think. And there was never going to be any harm done with that, and Ochoa can come and claim that. So 30 minutes and coming up to 30 seconds gone, still no goals between Mexico and Poland. And certainly Mexico have provided a lot of the running and more of the excitement, but Poland have held firm. Credit to them. And it's sort of hard to pinpoint any real outstanding players, but the fullbacks have been outstanding. Both Jesus Gallardo and Irving. I mean, Jorge Sanchez has also looked quite good. And then, of course, Irving Lozano coming down the wing on the right side has been quite good indeed. I'd actually look at Gallardo and Lozano as Mexico's outstanding players. Vega now, who can try and work around the defense. Alexis Vega, that is. Back to Montes. Back to Moreno, who passes it forward. Mexico claiming a foul, but the referee says nothing doing, and Poland can break. But again, some good defensive work means that nothing will come of that. And Cash will, in fact, concede a throw, so Mexico can further clear their lines. So Cash and Bednarek are two more representatives from Aston Villa in this tournament. Another one, obviously, being Emi Martinez, who was on the receiving end of that shock result. Certainly not the way he wanted to mark his World Cup debut, but, Argentina move forward. And this, of course, will be Lionel Messi's final tournament. There is no way he will want to have the ignominy of a group stage exit. Mexico throw. Sanchez to Montes to Moreno. Gallardo's already gone up front. And it was Chavez there who was sort of taking care of things in the midfield. Montes now. A through pass. Finds Alexis Vega, but that through pass is a little bit too heavy, and Szczesny can claim that. Szczesny's father was also a goalkeeper and a former Polish international himself. So keeping it in the family is Wojciech. And now some action in the Mexican half. And Poland can look to attack through Krychowiak. Szymanski now. But once again, some rather sloppy footwork. Poland still have the ball, though. Now it's sort of gone back into their half, played amongst the defense. And Montes is just able to let that go over his head straight to Guillermo Ochoa. So a good half so far for Mexico once again. No real sense of urgency from Poland, but they look decent on the counter-attack, but lack that quality in the final third. Mexico haven't quite had a shot on target yet, but they've certainly been asking a lot of questions of the Polish defense and, of course, of the Polish goalkeeper. Cesar Montes with a through ball, which is just a bit too heavy-footed instead of heavy-handed, and Herrera couldn't get that. So it is back with Szczesny. And we see some Mexican fans in the stadium starting something like a bit of a wave. Some Polish fans as well, including one who looks almost a dead ringer for Lewandowski in the stadium, with their flags, of course. Perushinsky with yet another throw-in. Krychowiak now. And that is with Kiwior all the way to Glick. Back to Kiwior, who will try and pass it forward. Zalewski. And Lozano concedes a throw. About 10 minutes left to half-time, plus stoppages, if any. So a draw probably wouldn't suit either team, but it would certainly give Argentina a sense of hope, knowing that there is still time. And let's bear in mind that Saudi Arabia were definitely not expected to win today. Argentina, in addition to Lionel Messi's penalty, had a hatful of goals which were chalked off for offside. So just another of those freak results, really, which nobody expected to happen. But maybe that'll make the Argentines a little bit stronger because, of course, their unbeaten record was certainly magnificent while it lasted, but now it means they're going to be tested. Now it's Mexico with Gallardo down the left. A nice cross in, but a little bit, again, heavy-footed, that. Instead of saying heavy-handed, I have to say heavy-footed because, of course, you don't kick with your hands. And certainly there was no chance of the attacker getting that. Straight into Szczesny's arms, claimed it quite comfortably. Any more comments? Let me take a look and see. Nope, nothing at all. So once again, those of you who are joining in, thank you for keeping me company. It is Mexico 0, Poland 0. And still some more action from Poland right now through their midfield, but obviously, again, one resorting to sideways passing, not quite able to penetrate forward. Kivior, though, with a nice forward pass. Will it find its man? No, it doesn't. But Mexico will concede a throw. Gallardo there doing some decent work, and now Lewandowski has already come up to try and have a say in the attack. It's another Polish throw. Matty Cash takes it this time. And a free kick has been awarded. So Krychowiak once again will be given a strict talking to. And Chris Beath will probably say, one more like that, son, and you're going to go into the book. Montes. Moreno. Alvarez. And still back right now with Mexico and with Cesar Montes. Moreno. That is Chavez to Gallardo. Back to Chavez. This time with Alvarez. Vega to Chavez. Once again, passing it back to Moreno, to Montes, to Herrera. And once again, more and more sideways passing. Will there be a breakthrough? It's still with Moreno, and it's all the way with Chavez now, who can cross it. Does it find a man? Well, it is with Hirving Lozano. What does he do with it? He gets a corner. Some desperate Polish defending there, and once again, Mexico are asking questions. Down both wings. Chavez and Gallardo on the left. Lozano and Sanchez on the right. And you can see Mexicans themselves know just how close they're getting. They're huffing and puffing, but so far can't quite blow the house down yet. But coming up to 40 minutes in the half being played. And this is a somewhat long corner being played all the way back out to Herrera, but Vega has it. Can he try and cross it? Got to be careful with his footwork there, Alexis Vega. Instead, passes it to Herrera, who will try and cut in, and yet again that is cleared, but again only as far as a Mexican who passes it all the way back to Ochoa, who will probably look to try and build an attack from all the way deep in his own half. And it is with Herrera now. Another pass, but this time not finding its man, and Herrera acknowledging that it wasn't good enough. So 40 minutes gone. 5 minutes to go till half-time, including stoppages. I mean, not including stoppages, of course, but stoppages will be added on, certainly, if there are any. And still no sign of either team really budging as such. Goal kick by Szczesny. And that finds a Polish player. Some more head tennis going on. And Lewandowski controls it with his foot, but ends up losing it. And now Mexico can try and start another attack. Another pass, hoping to find Irving Lozano, but instead it's intercepted by the head of Berezhinski, who can now start an attack of his own, only for Mexico to intercept that. Well kept in play, but Mexico are back on the attack through Szymanski. And can Kaminski keep that in play? No, he can't. But this is another good response from Poland. Whenever they've been relentlessly attacked, they've been able to respond. And some good use of the feet there. Certainly no fouls being committed. And this is some good pressure from Poland coming up to the into the last 5 minutes of the half. Can they make it count? And a needless foul conceded there by Lozano, and Poland will have a free kick. So 3 minutes to go till half time, plus stoppages, of course. It's back with Szczesny now, who will try and sort of calm proceedings, unmistakably wearing some full-length stockings underneath those yellow shorts of his. And it's with Mexico now through Chavez, Moreno, back to Chavez. Humps it long to try and find Lozano, who controls it very well indeed. Certainly trying to get the better of Berezhinski there, and gets it through to Sanchez. Some desperate defending there, headed away, but Szczesny was coming for that, so this is rather desperate stuff from Poland, and Mexico win a throw. So it's Mexico now with the sting in their tail, coming up to the end of the first half. And it is Jorge Sanchez, number 19, with the throw all the way to Luis Chavez. Passes it across the field to Jesus Gallardo. And Gallardo ends up losing that. Zielinski with the ball, but Alexis Vega wins it back. So what can Mexico do with this? Well, certainly they're looking to find their men. It is with Chavez now to Sanchez. All the way to Lozano. Chavez again. Trying to whip that in with his left foot, but it was a little bit too low and it was headed away. But it's back with Lozano now. And Krychowiak heads it away. Attempted a left-footed shot from, I think it was Alexis Vega, but it was sort of blocked. It is now back with Mexico, and it is with Luis Chavez, Irving Lozano. A nice through pass there through the legs, and attempting for trying to claim a penalty, but not really getting it, and I believe the linesman is once again flagged for an infringement. Sanchez there with a final shot on target, but Szczesny was able to sort of gather that over. Not a very convincing save, really. I mean, it was sort of a... Well, in fact, Mexico have in fact won a corner. Wasn't a very convincing save by Szczesny. Needed some stronger hands there, you would feel. Vega with the corner. A short corner. But this time, with more convincing hands, Szczesny claims it. And we are now just coming into stoppage time at the end of the first half. We will find out how many minutes are being awarded. And there'll be 2. So this has been certainly a non-controversial first half. No major bones of contention. Will either side be able to find the sting in the tail at this particular point? Because let me tell you, just before half-time would be a brilliant time to score a goal. Give yourself that momentum. Moreno to Gallardo. Moreno again. And some very neat interplay between Mexico. Sees them keep the ball. And some terrific work there from Alexis Vega, who's able to run and turn A little shimmy. Now with Irving Lozano down the right wing, another cross. But once again, the Polish defense heads it away. But once again, Lozano is able to reclaim the ball. And it is with Luis Chavez now, who is charged down in a way. But Cesar Montes can clean that up and pass it back to Ochoa. Hector Moreno now. Chavez to Lozano. Some good work once again from Lozano, able to shake off those two Polish attackers. 30 seconds to go before the end of stoppage time. Will there be another minute at least added? You get the feeling that there might not be, and this has been certainly conducted at a more sedate pace. Berezhinski clearing that away, but only as far as Luis Chavez. And it is Jorge Sanchez who's able to win that. Gets it to Herrera, who can now continue to work with that. Moreno now. And I believe the referee has in fact blown the whistle for half-time. So certainly Mexico with the better share of the possession. No supply as of yet for Robert Lewandowski, who's been kept quiet this game by the defense in the midfield. A few chances from Mexico, not least from Jorge Sanchez near the end of the first half, which was sort of unconvincingly parried over by Szczesny. But at half-time, it is Mexico 0, Poland 0, and you get the feeling that there will be some goals in the second half because I'm certain that changes will be made. The teams will be given a talking to, and pretty much how it works. So just going to get myself a little bit of a drink, and I will rejoin you all in a minute. As you can see, I was able to get myself a McDonald's takeaway. Nice drink over here. I'll probably tuck into the burger a little bit later. In fact, that might probably be my post-game meal to prepare for the watch-along between France and Argentina. I mean, France and Australia. So, it also means that I can TV is not working right now, but let's just see if we can get it back. And here we are. So, obviously there's a mirror behind me, so I'm not really eager to try to have the reflection on the screen sort of, what's on the screen, have it be reflected and shown in the video. Definitely don't want to see this video get flagged for copyright purposes. Not exactly very clear, but you can never be too careful. So once again, I'm lonely. I am so lonely. I have nobody to call my own. Yes, I'm so lonely. I still need somebody to call my own. Well, certainly after a rather cagey beginning to the game, it sort of settled down. And certainly Mexico's superiority on the flanks has been evident. Not quite rewarded yet. More than a few chances to open the scoring, of course, but the Polish defence, credit to them, has in fact held firm so far. And obviously, we're going to take a look at the highlights as they appear on my television screen. Nice to see Wayne Rooney on the telly. Pretty certain he's not. He did, in fact, have an interesting rejoinder to, what Ronaldo said about him being jealous that Ronaldo's still playing active football and Rooney's playing career is in fact over. And here's his response. Yes, I'm coaching. He's still an active player. But one thing's common between the both of us. We're currently sitting on the bench. Never mess with Wayne Rooney. And I will just say this about the Ronaldo situation. We've even had England cricketer Kevin Peterson coming and talking about it, obviously placing his support behind Ronaldo. I will say this. Whether or not some of the allegations that he has made are indeed true, for him to do what he did, it was, calculated, and it certainly strikes me personally as an example of self-indulgence on his part, more than anything else. And I'm pretty certain that although Ronaldo does still have some wonderfully redeeming qualities, there's no doubt about it, his ego will definitely be his worst enemy. 63% possession, 5 total shots to 1 for Poland. 1 shot on target, of course, that was flipped over the bar by Szczesny. 85% pass accuracy. That is just outstanding for Mexico. So they've been able to find their men a lot more successfully and frequently. And obviously, they've been causing the defense quite a few problems. But Poland, with a 73% accuracy, haven't exactly been slouching. And if we were to pick an outstanding player from Mexico, it would there'd be a choice of few. It would be Hirving Lozano, number 22, Jesus Gallardo, number 23. I also believe that Hector Moreno has been able to calm the defense down quite well. And Poland haven't had a shot on target in the first half. So they've choked the supply to Lewandowski effectively. And Levy hasn't had much of a sniff. I know Poland have a bit of a reputation for being tigers in qualifying, but lambs to the slaughter in tournaments. But there have been occasions when they bucked the trend. I mentioned Euro 2016, when, of course, Lewandowski, not Lewandowski, when it was Fabianski who was in goal. And Lewandowski's had 18 touches, but 3 passes completed and only 1 shot, which wasn't on target. So passing accuracy of 33%, not quite the best from him. And I know he's known as a bit of a target man, but when you have the ball, regardless of whoever you are, you've always got to try to pass to the person in the best position and not see yourself, see yourself intercepted. In fact, it was he who had that header in the first half, which was well wide of Guillermo Ochoa's goal. So basically, it's Moreno, Montes, Sanchez, and Gallardo who have kept him quiet. And the midfield has also been quite active. So, again, showing some analysis of his touches. Obviously, I can't really show you what's on the screen, but hasn't been too effective, has the Polish captain. Oops. Let me listen to what they're saying. I'll just mute my mic for a minute. Ah, apparently both Wayne Rooney and Robert Pires were predicting a 2-0 win for Poland tonight, possibly because of the Lewandowski factor, but the defense from Mexico was sort of put paid to most of that, and the fans of El Tri are enjoying every minute of it. Love how they lend so much color to proceedings, and the second half will, of course, be coming up in a few minutes, and once again, you will be in my company. This is Manny Thangadurai for the Coach's Corner. Still no comments. Still quite lonely. It is what it is. And once again, more advertisements, but certainly what it is. And once again, family calls. I'm glad I was able to keep my microphone muted just for that. And one headline, of course, is that fans wearing rainbow attire or bringing rainbow apparatuses were refused entry at the stadiums in the tournament. Not really surprising. What can you do? Certainly don't want to be one of those people who engages in a long silence, but Once again, nothing really much happening, waiting for the second half to commence. And of course, more shots of the support. And these fans are always colourful. And so some discussions over there between the Polish coach and his players. I believe he might be making a few substitutions. It will certainly be interesting to see what changes he makes. It was obviously the second half changes made by Robert Page, which ensured that Wales would avoid losing on their return to the World Cup stage. But the second half is about to begin. In a few minutes, of course, that is. The Mexico players are now coming out onto the field. And we're going to find out who will be coming on for Poland. It looks as though it was the number 6 for Poland, Christian Bielik, who had sort of taken off his substitutes vest. He might possibly be coming on. And basically, while Mexico have not wavered from their 4-3-3, Poland have now sort of transitioned into a 4-1-4-1 with Gregor Krychowiak, the midfield, sort of the defensive midfield sweeper, if you will, behind the midfield, attacking midfield 4, and Lewandowski on his own. Maybe to try to get Lewandowski some supply, but of course there will be a change of halves. And the substitution for Poland is being confirmed. It is, in fact, Nikola Zalewski, the left winger, who will be coming off, and Christian Bielik will be coming on, the number 6. And they've just kicked off now. Poland are attacking from left to right in their white shirts and red shorts. And certainly it's the hope of the Polish coach that change will bring about some dividends. But once again, with Mexico's defense having been outstanding so far, Robert Lewandowski hasn't had much supply. So be interesting to see how they play. It is, in fact, Jesus Gallardo who had a stormer of a first half at left back. He has the throw in right now. He needs to find his man, and he does, only for the ball to be given away. And it's one back, though. And given away again. Matty Cash now, at right back. Passes back to Szczesny, who uncharacteristically sends that out for a throw-in to Mexico. Berezhinski not able to get on the end of that. Moreno now for Mexico. Couldn't quite find the through pass, and the defense can clear that up. Krychowiak heads it down. That is Gallardo who passed it back to Ochoa. And that was, in fact, Szymanski who was trying to, pressure Gallardo, but Gallardo had it covered. Another pass from the right flank, all the way from right back, if you will. I think that was Jorge Sanchez who passed that, but that went straight to Wojciech Szczesny. So, still Mexico 0, Poland 0. And first substitution has already been made in the game. I wonder what type of substitutions Mexico will look to make. And that was an attempted cross, but clearly high, long, and not at all handsome. Not too sure Lewandowski will be taken off because he's pretty much the main attacking threat. But if he is forced off after having been effective, I wonder who Poland can bring on. And of course, with Gareth Bale staying on for the entire duration of the game and scoring that equalising penalty, I'm pretty certain that the Polish coach will have looked at that and decided that Lewandowski stays on for the full 90 minutes, no matter what, unless, of course, he gets injured. And that's sent all the way up front to an attempt to find Lozano, but Berezinski is able to head that away, and Poland win a free kick. So coming up to 48 minutes now. And Cesar Montes again doing some good work in defense and looking threatening going forward potentially, but still at the moment, compared to the first half, no real attacks as of yet, although the game could very well spring to life later on. And Mexico now win a free kick. It was Jorge Sanchez who conceded that. Sanchez is already in the book, so he'll want to be careful. Actually, it was Montes who conceded that free kick. Sort of coming into Lewandowski there. It was Sanchez who was remonstrating with the referee. Looks as though it'll be Szymanski with his left foot who will try to swing it in. Or is it Zielinski who's standing over it? Nah, it's got to be Szymanski. Oh, it's Zielinski, in fact, who sends it long and doesn't find anyone, and the chance goes begging. Strange angle that, really. Sort of, the ball was sort of over here, and he was coming in this way and trying to, swing it in, seeing if he could get some curve on that, probably, but clearly not going anywhere. Alvarez to Montes, back to Alvarez, to Montes again, trying to find the through pass and some rather lazy defending there with the Perm defender almost slipping, and Mexico have a throw in. So see a mother and her child enthusiastically supporting Poland there, cheering Polska, Polska, which is, of course, the chant for Poland. And does the referee let that slide? Yes, he does. So no foul there. And it is with Hector Moreno now. Alexis Vega to Herrera. Back with Montes, back with Herrera. Actually, that was Alvarez there, back to Herrera. Back to Montes, of course. That's Alvarez now, yes. And that was Chavez who was trying to find Lozano and ends up doing so. Lozano once again down the right, shimmying and turning and trying to find the man. He finds Sanchez, who tries to whip it in, but ends up getting a corner for his pains. So, once again, the Mexicans finding space and looking dangerous, but the substitute, Bielik, doing some good work, preventing any further damage. But there is a corner, and it is Luis Chavez who will be taking it. A left-footed in-swinger. And it was actually met by a Mexican defender, sort of coming to the ball before Chavez, but not really being able to connect with that. But it is back with Gallardo now. Irving Lozano. Still Lozano. Attempting a shot, but at a comfortable height for the goalkeeper. And that was, in fact, Henry Martin who probably connected with that. You can see the corner now. Actually, Szczesny did a good job of punching that away before Martin could get in. So, some good work there from the Poland number one, who is, of course, now with Fabianski's retirement, Poland's undisputed number one, and could very well end up with at least 80 or 90 or even 100 caps by the time he retires from international football. Cesar Montes there doing some cleaning up, but ends up conceding a throw. And it's Poland's turn now to start attacking. And they concede a throw. So that shot from Lozano was Mexico's second attempt on target, while Poland have yet to test Guillermo Ochoa with a shot on target. But you just never know how this game could possibly spring to life. But we see now Polish attackers trying to snap at the Mexican defenders' heels. And some sloppy footwork there lets them back in. So could we see an opening here? Well, not quite. Some desperate defensive work, and Ochoa was able to come out and help smother it, if you will, and the chance went begging. Now we're starting to see some end-to-end stuff, and some pretty good work over there in the Mexican midfield from, I think that was Henry Martin. Won himself a free kick there. So chested down by Moreno and obviously wanting to try and impede Lewandowski. A case of shirt tugging over there, which went, unseen. And now it is Henry Martin who's won the free kick after that foul by Kivior. So, Mexico can count themselves lucky not to have conceded the penalty, but it has gone to VAR. And if it's gone to VAR, then there could very well be a penalty awarded, and this could be an opportunity for Poland against the run of play to take the lead. It's gone to VAR, and VAR will signal to the referee if the penalty has to be awarded. Yeah. Clearly a case of shirt tugging. The issue is, well, it's gone to VAR, so we could see the penalty being awarded. Well, this will be interesting indeed. So the referee from Australia, Chris Beath, has now gone to the monitor. It's up to him to determine whether or not the shirt tugging was deemed to have been an impediment. And if it has been indeed an impediment, then Mexico could very well be in trouble. So what is Beath's decision? He has, in fact, pointed to the spot, and it's a yellow card for Hector Moreno. So Poland, who had no shots on target in the first half, who have been more or less the second best side in this entire game, against the run of play, have a chance to take the lead. Yep, some pretty poor work there, and definitely it impeded Lewandowski and didn't, let him get through. And you can see the joy on the faces of the Polish supporters. Lewandowski had so many appeals in the game turned down, but this time he gets what he wants. And of course, confirmation of the booking there for the experienced Hector Moreno, who will certainly be looked upon as a villain if Mexico go on to lose this game. So we see the two captains, Lewandowski for Poland and Ochoa for Mexico. He's only missed one of his last several penalties, Lewandowski. Ochoa is, of course, quite experienced. Not sure about his record for saving penalties, but it's the two captains against one another. Who will come out on top? Will Lewandowski score? Or will Ochoa be a Mexican hero? And you can see the Polish supporters with hands on their hearts, always hopeful for the best. Lewandowski versus Ochoa. And Ochoa saves it! What a brilliant save that is from the Mexican keeper. Magnificently done. Not the best of penalties from Robert Lewandowski, not quite wide enough, but Ochoa got down brilliantly and saved it magnificently. And the look says it all. Joy turns to despair for Poland, but the Mexican fans are jubilant, and they've got their keeper supreme, Guillermo Ochoa, to thank for that. But what's going on now? Are they possibly complaining about... No, they're not. A Polish throw-in now. So I don't know if the Mexican defenders had time to congratulate their captain and goalkeeper, but I'm sure they will be. And unfortunately, he will not go down as the oldest goalkeeper to save a penalty. That record proudly held by the Egyptian legend, that is Essam El Hadri, who set that record in 2018. He also set the record for being the oldest ever player to appear in the tournament. Ironically, and rather unfortunately, he was not considered to be Egypt's first choice after the sterling role he played in getting Egypt through to the tournament. But thankfully, he was able to get his reward. And you can see how much that means to Ochoa. Pumping his fist, come on, and the fans of El Tri are loving every bit of it. So I'm sure we'll get to see the replay of that penalty very soon. But now we're coming up to 59 minutes in the game, and it is Mexico 0, Poland still 0, and it's all happening out there. It's all happening out there. And now it's Alexis Vega in the Polish penalty area. He wins it back. Could there be a penalty awarded here? Chris Beats says no. But Vega reclaims it, but he will probably be flagged as being offside. So it's all happening. It's all happening. It's frenetic, and we're coming up to the hour mark. And we will see the replay of the penalty. Obviously stepping up, and Ochoa guessing the right way, sort of along the ground, rather comfortable height, and Ochoa sticking out his left hand and parrying it away. So brilliantly done there. And you can see the despair on Lewandowski's face. He knew he messed up that wonderful opportunity to put his team ahead. The only question is, will it be costly? And the Mexican coaching staff being booked, was it the head coach or one of his assistants? We're going to find out what that is. So after that little, still no comments. I'm still lonely. Any one of you in the chat, come in, speak to me. I'll put the link to the chat as well if anyone wants to join in near the end of the show. So an hour gone, still goalless. What will the next 30 minutes bring us? Alexis, that is in fact Luis Chavez now, and the action is coming thick and fast right now, and there's a Polish player down. Is play still continuing, or will it finally end? Well, play is continuing, and the Polish, now it's finally put out of play so that Berezinski can receive some attention over there. Not a very good clash there between him and Lozano. Took a rather heavy fall, I would say. You certainly can't caution Lozano for that. So Guillermo Ochoa is 37 years old. Could potentially emulate Peru's Teofilo Cubillas by playing in another World Cup, by which time he will be 41, if he is still eager to do so. But I think it's fair to say that having played for as long as he has, might be the last thing on his mind. So it's settled down somewhat. And of course, that means that at the age of 37, he will not be the oldest goalkeeper to save a penalty at the World Cup, as I've mentioned. And interesting bit of trivia from the BBC Sport website. Each of Poland's last three World Cup penalties have been saved. Kazimierz Dana in 1978, Maciej Żurawski in 2002, and now Robert Lewandowski in 2022. It finds Gallardo deep into Poland's half on the left, and he cuts it back to Herrera. Alvarez, and certainly a header there from Henry Martin towards goal, nicely saved by Wojciech Szczesny. So that's another shot on target for Mexico. Beautifully flighted cross there, and I think it's fair to say that it was more of a glancing header, which had to be saved. Comfortable height, of course, for Wojciech Szczesny. But Mexico are back, and they are back with a fury. And Gallardo loses that, so Poland can now clear their lines. Szymanski there trying to hook it forward. But Cesar Montes will intercept that and send that out for a throw-in. So it's all happening. It's all happening. And apparently Ochoa had a try with Fulham in 2010, but the then manager Roy Hodgson, who of course would go on to be England manager in 2014 and 2016, didn't fancy him. Shows how much that fella knew. Never was a good judge of goalkeeping talent. But now with 5 World Cups on his CV, 2, of course, as an unused substitute, and now with that save, Ochoa has further enhanced his legendary status. Certainly up there with the likes of Jorge Campos, Oscar Perez, and a few others as one of Mexico's all-time greats. So seeing the penalty again, Lewandowski going to the keeper's left, Ochoa guessing correctly, and you can see how pumped he was to save that, and you can see how much it meant to the Mexican fans. So it was a crucial time as well, just before the hour mark. Had Poland scored, it would have been almost difficult for Mexico to find a way back, because they've certainly huffed and puffed and had several shots on target and have looked by far the better team, but not been quite able to find a way past Wojciech Szczesny. And it certainly would have been a travesty of justice in a way, because Poland still have not had a shot on target. And they still have more defending to do, with Gallardo teasing that cross into the penalty area along the ground. It is with Alexis Vega. Back with Vega now. What can he do with it? Well, he sort of just chooses to let fly and ends up sending it right over the bar. Not quite into row Z, but there or thereabouts. And so a draw over here would not be the worst result for either team, and it certainly would be the best result for Argentina, because it means that they still have a very good chance of being able to ensure that they qualify. And Saudi Arabia, of course, as good value as they were for their win today, they know that they will face more severe tests in Mexico and Poland. So still cannot look beyond Saudi Arabia failing to qualify for the second stage. But I can definitely assure you that on the basis of that magnificent result today, they will be very richly rewarded. Szymanski. And I couldn't really tell you how that Saudi Arabian team would compare to the class of 1994, which actually reached the second stage. I certainly remember the likes of Mohamed Al Daya, Majid Abdullah, Sami Al Jaber, Said Al Oiran, who of course scored that world-class peach of a goal against Belgium to win that match. But certainly with a young team, they're there or thereabouts. Fahad Al Mualla is not in that squad, having been suspended, but certainly with youth being preferred, they're certainly quite hungry to do as well as they can. There's a free kick for Mexico, Cash conceding that free kick, and clearly, you know, he doesn't see anything behind it, but the referee says, Matt, sorry, mate, you know you're in the wrong. And let's see who's taking this. Looks as though it'll be a left footer, so could it be... well, it's Alexis Vega who's standing over that alongside what looks like it was Luis Chavez who took that left-footed. And that goes behind harmlessly for a goal kick. And Krychowiak is once again on the floor. Another collision of heads from the looks of it. And so now we're coming up to the 70th minute. It is, of course, the 69th minute now. So this could very well be the time for coaches to make substitutions. And some more argy-bargy in the penalty area. And some subs are very well being brought on. So it looks as though it'll be the numbers 8 and 9. Let me see who they are. We have, in fact, Carlos Rodriguez and Raul Jimenez. Jimenez, of course, playing in the Premiership for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Interesting to see who will be brought off. I think the Mexican coach, Martino, will want to try and bring some fresh impetus, maybe to the midfield. Polish throw. And that will be allowed to go behind for a goal kick. So we're in the 70th minute. Will the substitutions be made? Passes it out to Sanchez. Actually, that was Moreno who got that, tried to pass it to Herrera, but was impeded. But now Mexico can break. There's Chavez, who passes it out on the right to Lozano, trying to find Henry Martin. And was he impeded by Kivior? No, he wasn't. And Chris Beath is certainly not having any of that. And it is, in fact, the time for the substitutes, and it will be Herrera who will be coming off for Carlos Rodriguez. Hector Herrera, having played a really good game, run himself into the ground. And it's the number 20, Henry Martin, who will be coming off for Raul Jimenez. So some handshakes, signs of the cross, as these young substitutes are brought on. Certainly to add some freshness to the midfield and the forward line. And Poland are making a substitution of their own. It will be Sebastian Szymanski who will be coming off in favor of Przemysław Frankowski, the number 24. Goal kick from Szczesny. And infringement there, I believe. Yep, a free kick has in fact been awarded, and Lewandowski complaining of taking a hit to the face. And it's the substitute, Rodriguez, who is the guilty party. A sort of a backhanded slap, if you will. Not really a slap, but definitely catching Lewandowski in the face, and the referee saying, none of that, none of that. Zielinski with the free kick. And that is headed away by, out of play rather, by Kivior for a goal kick. Moreno to Montes, to Lozano, who's, not Lozano rather, that's Jorge Sanchez, trying to find Lozano, but not really succeeding. But Mexico still have the ball. And that's my drink done. I'll probably tuck into my burgers or burger rather, for the France-Australia watch-along. Or then again, maybe not. I might decide to have it as a sort of a snack between so that I can have my energy. But I know McDonald's isn't necessarily healthy, but it's a decent snack on the go. Certainly better where I'm having it than at any point in time back in America. UK's McDonald's is also quite good. And of course, living in the Middle East, you'll find McDonald's restaurants everywhere. And you can see that they are, of course, one of the many sponsors of this World Cup. Poland now, who are attacking into the penalty area, and that is, cleared behind for a corner. So Poland are good on the counter, and whenever they can find some space, they can certainly cause some problems. Down the left, not really finding their man, but Moreno probably felt as though he shouldn't have slipped over there because Ochoa did have that covered. But in any case, it's a Polish corner. And will it be Zielinski to take that? In swinging right footer. Headed away by Jimenez. And that'll be a Polish throw-in. And that'll be taken, of course, by... No, it's Berezinski who'll be taking the throw-in now. To Zielinski, back to Berezinski, who's trying to sort of run right in. And the referee awards Mexico a free kick. So, coming up to 75 minutes. 15 minutes to go until the end of normal time, and there will be some stoppages added for substitutes. So I'm posting the link in the chat, and if you want to come on, here's the link. StreamYard.com and these letters. So please click the link and come on in. Love to have you. So 15 minutes left. Stoppages will be added. Still goalless between El Tri and the Biała-Czerwoni, and there is a foul over there, and we will see a Polish player going into the book. It is the substitute, Przemysław Frankowski, who skied down Herving Lozano. Yep, stamping on his foot. Exceptionally painful, especially with those studs. And you can see Lozano was feeling the effects of that. So Poland are still breaking now. I mean, not Poland, Mexico. Trying to come in now through Moreno. And some good work there from the substitute Jimenez, who was able to evade his defender. Finds Gallardo. Tries to cross it in, but not able to find a Mexican attacker, and Poland can clear their lines. And Poland is still trying to attack, and now there's a foul. And Poland will have a free kick, and it is Cesar Montes who is guilty of that. Now it's Frankowski's turn to receive a little bit of a blow. Kamil Glik tries to send it forward, but Mexico can intercept that and clear their lines. Alexis Vega now. Across the field to Luis Chavez, who loses out, and Poland can break. But that pass wasn't really the best, but it finds its man. It's back now with Mati Cash, though, to Kamil Glik, to Kivior, back in the defense, who sends it forward to Berezinski. And Lozano trying to claim a free kick, but the referee says play on. But play will be stopped for a slight knock to Lozano, and this time it's his other leg. And so apparently it's Berezinski who stepped on Lozano's foot. And the referee might decide to award Mexico a free kick anyway. Well, instead of a free kick, it's more of a drop ball. And that is sent back to Wojciech Szczesny. Plays from the back. And easy pickings there for Guillermo Ochoa. Rolls it out. And Mexico now going to try and break again. Moreno. Gallardo, back to Moreno. Chavez. Can he find his man this time? Yes, he can. It is Jimenez who sends it up front, but Sanchez wasn't able to get that. But yeah, there is a throw which has been conceded with the ball going a little bit further back, so could be dangerous for Poland now. Lozano. Can he find Rodriguez? No, he can't. And some more rugby-style high ball kicking there, if you will. Well controlled by Vega, who's able to find Gallardo. Rodriguez. Back to Moreno. Back to Rodriguez. To Gallardo now. And Gallardo wins the throw. Straight to Alexis Vega, who tries a speculative shot, which is probably swinging the other way. Wanted to see that curl in, but ended up curling it the other way. And take a look at that, you see. Right-footed, not quite getting his laces through that and seeing that sort of go, really take a huge deviation away from the goal. So the Mexicans have been leading the line when it comes to defensive line breaks and certainly looking by far the more threatening side on the wings. Lozano obviously being the leading player there. And so we're now into the last 10 minutes. 80 minutes already gone. Will there be more substitutions? Both teams have made 2 each. Will the coaches decide to bring 3 more players on each to try and get something from the game? Or will they be satisfied with a draw and look to try and manage the game? I'm pretty certain that with Saudi Arabia beating Argentina, both these teams would love to go for a win. And as I say that, Poland have won a corner with Alexis Vega sort of stopping Matty Cash in his tracks. But it will be Piotr Zielinski to take it, right-footed in swinger, away swinger rather. And some Polish fans there dressed in the traditional Arab headgear along with their Poland jerseys, so certainly making the most of that. Zielinski with the corner. Does it find its man? Oh, well, Kajowiak there very nearly had a shot on goal, but the defense was able to stand up and be counted. And once again, some excellent defensive work from Mexico, and now they can clear their lines and break free, rather. And it is Raul Jimenez on his own, but the Polish defense is coming back, and his first touch was quite heavy. So it's all happening. It's all happening. Both teams giving it as good as they got. Mexico, arguably the better team in terms of chances created and shots on target, but Poland had their chance with that Robert Lewandowski penalty. And they will look back on this game if they fail to win and look at that moment and say, you know what, that game was ours for the taking. But there is still 8 minutes left, plus stoppages. Anything can happen. And Mexico are, in fact, bringing on another substitute. Could very well be a case of either game management or maybe some fresh legs. We will see who it is. Will it be Kevin Alvarez? Will it be Roberto Alvarado? Or will it be Uriel Antwi? As I speak now, Mexico on the attack. It is with Alexis Vega to Jesus Gallardo, Who wins a corner off Matty Cash? And some anxious faces among the L3 supporters and also the fans of the Bialo Cherwoni. And it will be Alexis Vega to take it. Right-footed in-swinger, perhaps, or no, it's Louis. It is Chavez who takes it. Left-footed away swinger. Doesn't find its man, but chance for a shot, maybe. Nope. Tries to instead Cesar. I mean, no, actually, that was Jorge Sanchez who opted to pass that away, and there was no shot forthcoming. And it is, in fact, Antuna who will be coming on, Uriel Antuna. See who he replaces. Then that will be Alexis Vega's last action for the evening. With 6.5 minutes to go, he is replaced by Uriel Antuna. And that is Mexico's third substitution. Still have 2 left, mind you. Jimenez. Claiming an offside, but, well, the flag might probably have been raised, but in any case, it was harmlessly sent into the arms of Wojciech Szczesny, who has made a good save himself, although the shot was really at a comfortable height. A few saves tonight, obviously, for him. Ochoa, of course, with that one big penalty save. It's been a decent game, and could we see the second goalless draw of today? Let's wait and see. And some rather clumsy footwork there from Przemysław Frankowski, who allows that to sort of, unable to control that, and allows that to sort of go out for a throw. And might have been some claims for a penalty there with Glick playing his 100th match for Poland tonight, clashing heads there with Moreno, but no real dice there. So now, of course, we're at this stage where one goal will almost certainly win it. Into the last 5 minutes. Still goalless between Mexico and Poland. One goal will win this. It's fair to say that when Senegal played the Netherlands, it was Cody Gakpo's 84th minute goal which effectively won it. Davy Klaasen's late contribution was the icing on that cake. And Poland are going to be making another substitution. Arkadiusz Milik. Certainly another veteran of Polish football coming on, but there's some more action in the Polish half. Poland trying to clear their lines, but Mexico intercepting it, and they get it back. And Mexico can attack through Irving Lozano, down on the left this time. Not able to find the cross into the penalty area, though, and that is cleared away, but Mexico have it back. Back again with Lozano, who was amazing down the right. Will he be good on the left? He finds the through ball. And a claim for a penalty waved away by the Australian referee, Chris Beath. I wonder if he's going to possibly... Well, there's a Polish player down, and this time it's Matthew Cash from Aston Villa. It's all happening. It's all happening. And the tackles are flying in thick and fast. And it is Piotr Zielinski, who's also had a good game. 84% pass completion. Excellent returns from him. And he is being replaced by the experienced Arkadiusz Milik. Szczesny now with the goal kick. 3 minutes left, plus stoppages, of course. And we are effective well into that stage of play where one goal will win it. Poland trying to clear their lines. Kuchowiak now. He can find a through ball. Cash now, who seems to have recovered. but well cleared by the Mexican defense. Can Poland reclaim it, though? Yes, they can. Back with Cash. Cash again. Cash certainly proving his worth now. Krychowiak with a through ball. And Ochoa will claim that. So a good defensive header over there, sort of taking the pace off the ball in a way. And now we're into the last 2 minutes, plus stoppages. I wonder if Mexico will be content to see this one out, or will they certainly look for one final sting in the tail? You just can't settle down at a time like this. And certainly with Lozano still active on the wings, it's not a possibility. Here he is now on the left, trying to look for a shot, but that goes straight into a Polish defender's head. And so powerful was that shot that Kamil Glik, who was in the way, felt the full force of it. Ooh, taking one for the team right there. This is it. As the great Alex Ferguson would say, so Alex, that is, it's squeaky backside time. 1 minute left plus stoppages. And you can see the look on Robert Lewandowski's face because he knew that he had his chance to win. Probably was looking to try and kiss the ball for good luck. And the ball said, "Sorry, Robert, you're not my type." Besides, Robert, you're a married man. You should know better. 25 seconds to go, plus stoppages, however much they will be. Can Mexico ride out the storm, or will Poland find one sting in the tail? Well, certainly with some pretty sloppy passing like that, Poland won't be scoring anything anytime soon. And it is with Lozano now, who gets it to Raul Jimenez, who was able to find it's not Carlos Rodriguez, but it is Ariel Untana on the right, trying to jink his way through the defense, and wins a corner. And it is Untana who will be taking it. Or is it? Nope. It's the corner specialist himself, Luis Chavez. And there will be 7 minutes of additional time for the tackles, for the penalty, and for the substitutions. Ooh, just when you thought it was all over, it's not quite over yet. Chavez with the corner, left-footed in-swinger, headed away by the Polish defense, but only as far as Jorge Sanchez, who backheads it and eventually finds Jesus Gallardo. Another cross whipped into the penalty area, and the flag is once again raised for offside. So 1 minute, the 7 minutes gone for stoppages, and clearly they're wandering off. It was Alvarez who went offside. And will we see another substitution, or because Glick looks as though he was getting a little bit tired there? More time for substitutes to come on now, and certainly those subs can have an impact on the game. Matty Cash with a rather awkward left-footed hack, which ends up going unpunished because another cross is whipped into the Mexican penalty area, but that is too far, and nobody will be getting that. Arkadiusz Milik come on a few minutes ago, not looked too shabby. Certainly the Polish coach wants some fresh legs in his team at this time, but difficult to see where any kind of attacking impetus can come in now because the Mexican defense has been absolutely outstanding. Gallardo. And I believe the referee will award a free kick to Poland. And this time it is Matty Cash once again, who certainly felt the full force of that tackle there. But he's okay. He's up and he's fine. It is Cash who takes the free kick. Finds his teammate, and now it's with Berezhinsky, who's also had a good game tonight. And claiming a foul, the referee says no, and it's a Mexican throw. And it's time to go. Flicked on, header by Jimenez, who finds his teammate, but that is well dealt with by the Polish defense. Kamil Glick, on his 100th appearance for Poland, deserves credit for marshalling his backline quite superbly indeed. But Mexico do have the ball, and it's been scythed down. But no free kick for Mexico. The referee waves play on. And Poland can attack. Will they find their man? Well, it's in the penalty area, but the shot is... It was with Kaminski there who had that shot. But number 13 definitely not getting the good luck he needed. Straight at Guillermo Ochoa, who was able to claim that quite comfortably. 3 minutes left of stoppage time. Carlos Rodriguez. One of the first two substitutes to come on for Mexico. Crossfield pass all the way to, actually halfway all the way to Hector Moreno, who has been outstanding tonight. Irving Lozano, now down the left. And into the penalty area, but that's cleared away, and Mexico will happily take a throw in. Kivior there doing the cleaning up. Gallardo back to Moreno. Rodriguez. Sanchez. Looks like Jimenez to me. No, that's Santana rather. Yep, number 21, Santana. But Sanchez is there, asking questions. Poland can still clear, though. Can they find their way? Yes, they can. And Lewandowski still on the field and still trying to direct play. It's with Krychowiak now, who sends us an opportunity, but ends up doing that. Shooting high, not too high, but definitely wide, and definitely not threatening to Guillermo Ochoa. Sort of going wide, really, and all was rising. And you can tell that could very well have been Poland's last chance. But you never know in this game. You just never know. Untana now down the right. He's been a breath of fresh air since coming in. But that clearly looked stale. An attempted cross, which ended up being a sort of a pass along the ground all the way to Wojciech Szczesny, who can calm proceedings down. And we're into the last minute of stoppage time. Let's see if there are any comments. No comments. No one's joined in the chat. So I will almost certainly be ending the stream very soon after the game is over. Into the last minute. And of course, I will look to join you again for the France-Australia game, with the defending champions opening their account against the comparative underdogs from Australia. Rodriguez, last 30 seconds. Is there a final twist in the tail? Does he find Irving Lozano? Yes, he does. Only just. And he's able to get it away from Matty Cash, but not the best pass back. And can Poland break at this point in time? Let's see if they can. And the answer is no, they can't. Cleaned up quite nicely over there. Gallardo with the ball, but passes it straight to Alvarez over there, who can send it up. And will Untana be able to get on the end of that? No, he won't. And is that the end of the game with the 7 minutes up? Not quite yet. Well, not quite yet then, but definitely now. And the headlines, of course, will be hogged by none other than the Mexican captain and goalkeeper, Guillermo Ochoa, who brilliantly saved his Polish counterpart's penalty to keep the score at 0-0. The second goalless draw of the day. Mexico, obviously the better team in terms of possession and shots on target, forcing Szczesny into making a few saves. Not quite able to find the target, though. And so it's finally poised in Group C at the moment, with Saudi Arabia, of all teams, the unlikely group leaders, and Argentina, the Copa America champions, on the bottom. Mexico and Poland sharing the spoils, no goals between them, and that is how it will end. So, once again, thank you very much indeed for joining me tonight, and I will take a look and see if there's any room to talk. I probably will really only be on here for another minute after this, but then after that, it will be adieu to you, and I'll see you very soon. So, certainly a cagey beginning, which sprang to life later on. Mexico obviously looking the more threatening team along the flanks, and certainly doing a lot more to create many attacks, but Poland basing their game on a fairly strong defense and hoping to find something on the counter. But Mexico's defense, in turn, was outstanding. They choked Robert Lewandowski for supply, weren't really able to let him get on top in the game at any time. That penalty shout, I think Hector Moreno would look back on that and say that his captain bailed him out big time, because shirt pulling in the penalty area is always a stupid risk to take, and the defender of his experience should have certainly known that. But when he had his opportunity to be a hero, he couldn't take that opportunity. And as it stands, this match ended up finishing in a goalless draw. The second goalless draw of the day, after Denmark and Tunisia were unable to take any initiative. Denmark, of course, hitting the post themselves. And after goals galore of yesterday, today has certainly been a day of more defensive emphasis. And obviously, France, without Karim Benzema, will have to depend on Olivier Giroud and maybe a few other attackers to try to do well. With half of their midfield gone in N'Golo Kante and Paul Pogba, it will be up to the likes of maybe Guendouzi and Tchouaméni to try and make something out of nothing if they can. And hard to say what type of team France will be putting out tonight. I think Didier Deschamps will definitely have his hands full trying to look for a formation. He still has a good array of talent. Certainly Theo Hernandez has had a good season with AC Milan at left back and will probably end up playing in that position. And of course, the defense should take care of itself with William Saliba of Arsenal stepping into the breach. Hugo Lloris will definitely start in goal. Could have had some competition from Mike Maignan from AC Milan, but sadly, Maignan ended up being injured, missed out on the squad, and so it is Lloris, Mandanda, and Alphonse Areola, the three goalkeepers who were there in 2018. And it's been a really crazy day today, and obviously I'm really always happy to watch these games as a football spectacle. Not trying to sort of stay away from the politics, the political side of it while I'm here on YouTube, but, it pretty much is what it is. And there are no, of course, chats available, so I've been pretty much lonely tonight, but if there have been some people who've been watching it, listening to my commentary, thank you very much indeed. Always a pleasure to do more of these watch-alongs for the channel. A final reminder, as the ticker said, we are providing you live coverage of the 2022 FIFA World Cup on this channel. Do please like this video. Do remember to subscribe to the channel and click the bell button for any notifications. This channel obviously provides some terrific sporting content for many sports disciplines: football, cricket, basketball, and wrestling, which is definitely not my cup of tea, but there you go. Once again, thanks to all of you who have joined in. I will definitely see you in an hour's time for France against Australia. But for now, take care of yourselves. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And I am out. Cheers.